Good day to all of you. I am Diaz Zinurin and the warmest welcome to the new time on Jibek Joly World. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev called today a historic day after he voted in the Kazakh presidential election. The incumbent president noted that Kazakh people cast their votes for a bright future of Kazakhstan.
Шын мәнінде биылғы жыл оңай болған жоқ, бірақ халқымыз жұмылдырып қиындықтардың бәрін.
It's been a hard year, but our nation pulled together and overcame all the difficulties. We have very ambitious goals and tasks now. There is a lot of work to be done.
Халық дауыс беретін болса, бағамды жүзеге асырып, орындауымыз керек бәріміз. Сондықтан жұмыс көп.
Zhiguli Dayrabayev also voted. The chair of the Kazakhstan's Farmer Association expressed his opinion on the presidential election. He emphasized that the country has a great future. Candidate Nurlan Auyazbayev said that every Kazakh citizen had to fulfill civic duty to vote and thanked his team for their work.
Барлық халық өз
Today, Kazakh citizens with their families are voting for the future of our country. Long may our Kazakhstan prosper. We all will work together to build a fair, new Kazakhstan.
жақсы, жарқын болашаққа жол сала берейік деген үлкен үмітім бар.
Karakat Abdin also made her choice. She highlighted that the election would give a special boost to the development of Kazakhstan. Saltanat Tursunbekova also visited her polling station. She noted that during the election campaign, she visited 12 regions of the country and introduced her manifesto to the population. The candidate for the position of the head state added that the protection of Kazakh people's rights is her priority. After making his choice, presidential candidate Meyram Kazakhian said that the people and the country were in anticipation of changes. Maulin Ashimbayev, chairperson of the Senate, the upper house of the Kazakh parliament, casted his vote in the snap presidential election. He noted the importance of the participation of every citizen in the electoral process, emphasizing that more than 600 international observers from 35 countries are monitoring the election in the country today.
Президенттік сайлауымыз осындай ашық түрде, әділ түрде, толықтай.
In general, election is an important event for any country, and Kazakhstan is no exception. Our people demonstrate unity and cohesion. Kazakh citizens determine the future of the state today. We believe that the presidential election will be transparent, honest, held in full compliance with the laws of Kazakhstan and international standards.
Бұл енді бір жағынан енді мүмкіндік, екінші жағынан жауапкершілік.
Yerlan Koshanov, chairperson of the Majlis, the lower house of the Kazakh parliament, took part in the election as well. Kazakh Prime Minister Alikhan Smailov also came to his polling station.
Сегодняшний день он покажет, как дальше в течение 7 лет будет развиваться.
Today, it will be determined how our country will develop over the next 7 years. Therefore, it is very important that all citizens go to polling stations and cast their vote for a candidate for whom they believe they should vote. If we want our country to develop and flourish, we must show civil liability and choose the strongest candidate for the position of the head of state.
Ответственность и выбрать на позицию главы государства наиболее сильную кандидатуру.
Kazakh citizens are electing their president. The high vote turnout has been recorded at the polling stations of the Kazakh capital. Young people who just turned 18, pensioners and families together with their children have arrived to cast their ballots. Each of them knows that their vote is important for the country's future.
Мы находимся на избирательном участке номер...
We are at the Astana polling station number 111, located in the building of the National Academic Library. The station has been open since 7 a.m. and more than 2,500 voters have been registered here. Observers, including 12 international ones, are monitoring the voting process here. They represent countries such as Canada, the United Kingdom, China and Russia.
Такие страны, как Канада, Англия, Китай и Россия.
According to the country's state councillor Yerlan Karin, who was one of the first to cast his vote at the polling station, the presidential election will give a powerful impetus to new transformations in the country.
Я думаю, что эти выборы
I believe that these elections are very important in determining the development prospects for Kazakhstan. As I've mentioned before, they are laying the foundation of the new state system. Therefore, I urge citizens to go to the polling stations today to exercise their constitutional right. This will give impetus to the country's further development.
Воспользоваться своим конституционным правом. Если мы хотим, чтобы наша страна дальше развивалась.
According to observers, no violations were recorded at the polling station number 111. The voting is in full swing. The high voter turnout and efficient organization of the election process are recorded there.
Задача наблюдателя сделать так, чтобы
The task of the observer, as the head of the election commission said, is to make sure that everything is fair and transparent. That is, there is a special system by which we count the number of people who put their ballots into the ballot boxes. Overall, everything is all right now.
всё в порядке.
Ожидаем лучшего.
We look forward to good things ahead. Our children are growing up and we would like the development of education to be one of the priority areas. We have come to vote in anticipation and hope that our vote will have an impact.
Проголосовать.
It bears noting that there are 406 polling stations operating in the Kazakh capital of Astana.
Kazakh citizens abroad are active in casting their votes in presidential election. There are 68 voting stations operating in 53 countries around the world. 3 of them are located in Turkey, including in Ankara, Istanbul and Antalya. About 2,000 voters are registered there. Most of them are young people studying at local universities, as well as representatives of international organizations, diplomats and tourists.
Kazakhstanda участка ашылу менен бірден азаматтарымыз белсенді дауыс.
Kazakh citizens are expressing civic stance and fulfilling their civic duty. High voter turnout and efficient organization of the election process have been reported since the opening of the polling station. The first to arrive early in the morning and vote were students not only from Ankara but from other Turkish cities as well.
Анкараның түпкір аймағында оқитын студенттер өте осы жыл белсенділік танытқан болатын.
Анкараға Сивас қаласынан арнайы келген жайымыз.
I came to Ankara from the city of Sivas. I just turned 18 and this is the first time I'm casting my ballot. I've voted for the bright future of my country.
Еліміздің болашағы үшін дауыс беріп жатырмын.
There are 120 Kazakh citizens included in the voter lists in Belgium and Luxembourg. The polling station number 241 has been set up for them at the Embassy of Kazakhstan in Brussels.
Это самый важный день. То есть его нельзя пропускать. Это то.
This is the most important day and everyone should participate. It's not only a civic duty of any citizen, but also a great opportunity to change our country and our future for the better. We are now on the verge of the revival of the Central Asian culture and prosperity of the times between the 9th and 11th centuries. It seems to me that we are entering such a period now. The ongoing changes are absolutely for the benefit of Kazakhstan. I firmly believe that a bright future awaits us.
Плюс Казахстану. Я очень сильно верю в то, что нас ожидает лучшее будущее.
Kazakh citizens are actively expressing their civic stance today. This is evidenced by the reports coming from the country's regions.
A 98-year-old resident of the Almaty metropolis cast her vote. Alexandra Polanskaya has not missed a single polling day in her life. The woman arrived at the voting location despite the fact that she's wheelchair-bound. Kazakh film and theater actor Asanali Ashimov also came to cast his ballot on such an important day for the country. He notes that participation in elections means expressing a civic stance and views on political and public life of the country.
Жарқын болашақ үшін, жас ұрпақтың келешегі үшін.
I voted for a bright future for Kazakh people, for the future of the younger generation. A country can flourish only by improving the well-being of its citizens. First of all, when there is prosperity, then there will be everything else. Second, science, education and culture should come first and develop.
Бұл бір. Екіншіден, ғылым, білім, мәдениет, тәртіпті алға қою керек.
The residents of Shymkent city who arrived at polling stations on the voting day could enjoy songs and dances, as well as sweets and national dish barsak. A total of 311 polling stations are operating there. 293 of them are equipped for people with special needs. Much attention is also paid to elderly people and first-time voters. All of them are given memorable souvenirs and gifts. 517 polling stations opened their doors in the Aktobe region. 3 of them are located in the shift camps of oil workers in the Mugaja district and in the military base number 6655. Another 15 voting locations are operating in a closed mode.
Вышеназванные 15 избирательных участков, они могут завершить.
The aforementioned 15 polling stations can finish voting early, before 9 p.m., because according to the law on elections, the list indicating the number of voters at these stations is determined 5 days before the voting day. That is, on election day, once the last person of that list has casted his ballot, these stations can begin tallying the results.
100% все избиратели проголосуют, и эти же избирательные участки могут подвести итоги.
It bears noting that the electoral process in the regions of the country was monitored by international observers, candidates, trustees, as well as representatives of public funds and non-governmental organizations.
The presidential election is an example of democratic development of the country. The electoral process empowers civil society to control authorities, opined Askar Nursha, advisor to the director of the Kazakhstan Institute for Strategic Studies. According to him, this event proves that the voice of the people is important to the country and their wishes can be heard. The expert stressed the significance of political changes since the next president must contribute to the improvement of the social and economic well-being of the population.
По итогам этих выборов мы увидим, скажем, что власть перейдет в новое качество.
This election will make the power move to the next level. There are several candidates, each with his or her own manifesto and vision for the development of the state. We have 2 female candidates in this election, and here the question is, can society support a woman and see her as a leader as a whole? There are representatives of different segments of the population as well, with different political and social experiences. The candidate who presents the best manifesto will deserve to win.
Разных слоев населения, с разным политическим, социальным опытом. Кандидат, который представит более лучшую программу, он и заслуживает, по большому счету, победы.
Since early morning from 6 a.m., young members of the National Guard of Kazakhstan have been fulfilling their civic duty at this polling station. Many of them are exercising their constitutional right for the first time. Our correspondent visited the polling place.
Ұлттық ұланның 55-73 әскери бөлімінде таң атпай жексенбінің өзі.
Today, members of the National Guard have been up since early morning as usual. However, this morning they headed not to parade ground but polling station. The guardsmen say this is a special day because both head of state and supreme commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Kazakhstan will be selected today.
Қарулы күштердің жоғарғы қолбасшысын сайлауға асық.
A young National Guard soldier, Ahmet Aytkuan, was the first to cast his ballot at polling station number 226. This was an exciting moment for the young man because he is voting for the first time in his life. This is a historic moment for me too because I cast my ballot in the presidential election for the first time in my life. I was lucky to be the first one among the soldiers on the site. I believe that this is a big step for the future of our country and I have made my choice. Together with Aytkuan, more than 1,500 guardsmen were able to cast their votes. Among half of them are taking part in the presidential election for the first time. All of them are confident that they made the right choice, which will affect the well-being of all Kazakh people. I cast my vote for the future of my country. I am sure that I have made the right choice. I've made my choice. I'm sure it is the right one. This polling station has been open since 6 a.m. The guards' voting was already complete by this afternoon. Moreover, in the first hour of voting at polling station number 226, more than a third of soldiers made their choice. This rapidity has a reason. The guardsmen have to begin their duties as soon as possible.
Потому что есть свои особенности. Личный состав Национальной гвардии заступает на службу по охране.
The National Guard members ensure the protection of public order during social and political events held in the country. Today, they both cast their votes, expressing civic stance and protect public order.
Избиратели, ну и также участвуют в обеспечении охраны общественного порядка.
All measures have been taken to ensure that voting takes place in a calm atmosphere. More than 20,000 police officers are on duty at polling stations. Approximately 14,000 international affairs officers patrol public areas and streets. In addition, video surveillance has been stepped up.
That is all the news we have got for you today. Make sure to stay tuned, and I will see you very soon.